Rycal are primarily in North Dakota to construct a city. We have a number of projects ongoing with a total value of 1.25 billion, and the Skywatch Inn offering is phase one of that development.
It's propelling North Dakota as a state to second for oil production, just behind Texas. Is one of the major factors for the US being self-sufficient for fuel by 2030. And of course they need infrastructure, so companies like ourselves are there for that reason. What we're building there and why is we're building a city. We believe it's going to be the biggest development that the North Dakota has ever seen. But we've broken it down into phases. So anything that a small city would have, rail spur, truck stop, retail, residential, warehousing, industrial, those kind of things are all going to be there. It's all starting with phase one.
The first phase is a hotel called the Skywatch Inn. It has an underground car park and it is also fully serviced.
It's aimed at construction workers, the transient traffic that we see, white collar, blue collar workers, that kind of thing.
So we're offering investors a fixed return over 2 years. So it's a 2-year product. So you get 15% in year one, 15% in year two, and at the end of year two, the investor gets their money back plus a 25% bonus.
The investor monies are secured against the project in two ways. One is by means of a first charge over the hotel itself, and secondly by a percentage ownership in the company Carlton James Skywatch Inn Limited.
The exit's very simple. It's just a straight remortgage. It's very hard to get development finance in North Dakota because it's seen as speculative because the oil boom's quite new. But actually a remortgage of a running hotel is quite easy. The hotel should be worth around about 50 mil on completion. Doesn't need to be worth 50 mil. It'll work if it's worth 25 mil. And we can refinance at 70% loan to value to a standard bank. We have one that we've already lined up ready, but they need to see 1 year's worth of trading. So that's why it's a 2-year term. The first year is all about getting the hotel up and running. Then with a year of trading ready to refinance. My name's Simon Carlton. I'm the CEO of Rycal Investment Group. I'm also the managing director of Carlton James Skywatch Inn Limited. So what I want to make clear is the fact that we're doing something which is maybe slightly different. There are only a few companies like us that are doing what we're doing in that area. Most companies go into the area and they're just trying to make as much money as quickly as possible, which means that the build they're doing isn't quite up to scratch how we would believe that they should be built. Because they're more temporary, and that's because they're trying to make as much money as possible and get out as soon as possible. What we're doing is something completely different. We're trying to bring families to the area. You know, it's a very male-orientated area in Williston, and that's because of the jobs. You know, your oil workers, construction workers. You can see that's very male-orientated. What we want is those men to bring their wives and their families to the area, and by building this community. We feel that's what we're going to do.